Alright, I want to do a video of everything that I want. I think the biggest thing is that I'm not willing to settle, and I think it's throwing everyone for a loop. Because my entire life I have said I have money coming my way, which I still believe. Like, I believe I am owed so much money for some reason. I can just feel it in my bones. I have worked hard my whole life. I have like supported and given so much that I think that I believe I deserve the best possible life that I can build for myself, and I believe that I was on the right track with that. So whatever ended up happening to disrupt that, I am hell set and heaven bent on making sure that I still get what I want no matter what, and I will do it at any cost. I will do it no matter what. I don't care who's in my way. It's like move or get hit, because I have come too far. I've worked too long. I've given up too much to settle for anything less than exactly what I want. So I just want to let everyone know that despite this entire process, despite everything that I'm posting, despite everything that's going on with me, no matter what, I'm not going to stop until I'm completely satisfied. And that's not going to happen as long as there's interferences. So I'm going to do everything possible to make sure that those interferences go back to their rightful owners. So that's my little spiel about being a badass. Now, in terms of what I want, I have spent my entire life like wanting to be recognized for my achievements. Education wise, I have excelled beyond all belief. I have more awards than I know what to do with. And although these are all really nice things, they're not the things that define who I am as a person. And I think because the things that define who I am as a person have never really been recognized, I think that's part of why I'm so angry. I feel partially mad because I feel like being a good person doesn't get recognized as much as it should be. I feel like bad behavior is rewarded sometimes for certain people, and then it's criminalizing for other people, and that to me just doesn't really sit well in my stomach. So I pride myself on being a good person, not because I feel like I'm supposed to, but because it feels right for me. It feels good on my heart. I feel good about myself when I do it. And some of these videos, you know, they turn my stomach a little bit because I know how I'm acting. I'm aware of my behavior, and I'm aware of my outbursts, and I'm aware of my anger and my arrogance and my ego. And the thing is although I feel embarrassed sometimes after posting them because of how I look, I don't actually watch them until I post them on YouTube. None of these videos I pre-watch. I post them and then I watch them. So there's new to you, or there's new to me as they are to you. I don't edit them out. I don't change anything. You are getting the real raw version of these videos. So with that being said, I'm really hoping like there's a certain level of understanding of why I'm doing this without judgment, because I am genuinely scared. I am genuinely scared of being judged. I am genuinely scared of being embarrassed or embarrassing myself. But the reality is this is the only way to really get to know myself and for other people to get to know the real me. I think I'm more of a good person than maybe what comes across in these videos. But I have to get all of this negativity that's been put on me in the last 2 years out, because it is not mine. And I feel like, although I have certain issues with my family and these things genuinely have been bothering me my whole life, they have been magnified, and it's almost like all my good memories of my childhood have been erased and only the bad ones remain. And I just don't think that's right, because I've gone my whole life saying what a good childhood I had, and now all of a sudden all the negativity is pointed out. And that's almost like trying to alter my belief in like who I love and what I want and things like that. And I just don't think that's right at all. I think that's like one of the, like, I don't understand this process, because I feel like this process is so hurtful and there's not enough benefit or positivity to make it right. So I feel like it's really like the wrong thing to do to people. And I am really angry about it, because it's just like, why would someone do this to me? Like, why would someone do this to me? And I just want to know, like, is it hurt people? Like, are you hurt? Like, do you feel the need to hurt me this much? And the only thing I can say in terms of the things that I'm posting is that I hope it helps someone more than it hurts anyone, because it's the honest factor that I'm really going after. It's the fact that I am willing to put myself out there to help someone be more open and honest in their relationships with even themselves, their family, their loved ones. And I'm really just hopeful that this brings more benefit than anything else. So in terms of what I want, before I guess, the last 2 years when I was like my best self, my primary goal throughout my entire life was looking the best. Because when you're overweight and obese the way I was, I have worked so hard my entire life that it is my number one goal. I don't consider it negative vanity. I don't consider it to be a negative thing that I'm focusing on appearance. It is something that I value very strongly. I've always thought I was beautiful. I've always focused on wanting to be thin and getting my body to be the healthiest that it possibly can be, and making sure that when I look in the mirror, clothes or no clothes, that I like what I see. So that is priority number one to me. Now, there was a time in my life where I was at such a low point, and I was so criticized for how I was losing weight, how much I was losing weight. It got to a point where, like, my parents have never said, oh, like, we are so happy for you, congratulations on losing all this weight. My parents went from, oh, you gotta keep losing weight, to, oh, you're too skinny. There was no, like, and I'm pretty sure, like, when they told me that I was too skinny for the first time, and I wasn't, I was like 138 pounds. Like, I was the healthiest I've ever been. I was like the exact correct weight for my body size. And then when they said that to me, like, they said it in a disgusting way, to the point where, like, there's something wrong with me. And it's just like, I have never been more disappointed in, that was it for me. That was it. I was done with my parents after that. Completely done. Like, I had never hated them more than I did in that moment. To the point where it's just like there was love loss. Like, it was serious love loss. Because this is something I had been working for my whole life, as far as I had consciousness back. I could not believe that they did that to me or said that to me. I made me realize that even, like, my parents were never going to be truly happy for me. So in that moment, I had to decide for myself, you know, what I really, and it really took a toll on my confidence. Like, it made me hate myself, honestly. Like, I looked in the mirror and I felt disgusting. I suddenly went from feeling beautiful to feeling disgusting, like I was sick or something. Like, that's the impact parents have on their children, and I really wish they took it more seriously, because you can really, like, kill your kid's confidence by just saying these little comments, these little snag comments are really like, and that's just it. I watched a show recently. I'll actually say I watched The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and one of the women, her daughters, was going through something, and they actually taught me something, that it's best to just, when you think something's wrong, to just not say anything. And I have to say, like, for me personally, I agree with that, because I would have given anything for my parents to just, I'd rather them not say anything about my weight. I'd just rather them not comment, as opposed to, you know, commenting and saying something so hurtful the way that they did. So even, like, I feel like there is so much back and forth of how we could all really help each other with these situations, that I really want to flourish with what I'm doing. So you're getting such a real version of me that no one has ever seen before. No one has ever seen this side of me. No boyfriend, no parents, no nothing. YouTube, Google, you are the first people that are getting a real look at me. And I just feel that this is like a place that I can at least freely talk about myself and the things that I go through, and open up about what I believe and don't believe in. And I'm just really thankful that it exists, because it's one of those things where if it didn't, like, I wouldn't know what to do. Like, I wouldn't know what to do. Yeah, so this is really important for me, and there's so many things that I've gone through that are so drastically different from each other that I don't even know how to, like, I'm just doing the best that I can. And although I have this, like, map in my head of where I'm going with all of it, I'm just hoping that it stays and it doesn't, you know, get altered or anything because of something somebody else is doing. Like, this is really important to me. I feel like this is my time to shine. I've always felt in my heart that I was meant to be on camera. I was meant to be on TV. I was meant to do all those things. For me, it was the most important thing I've always wanted, with the exception of my weight, was to be recognized for something in IT that I've done. I mean, I see these people that there is no real leading woman in IT, and I always knew deep in my heart that it was meant to be me, because I've been doing this for so long, and I knew how badly I wanted to be on TV, and I knew how bad I wanted recognition, and I knew, like, I'm desperate for attention enough that I would be good at being on TV, because I've gone through so much neglect, and to the point where, you know, that kind of attention actually humbles me a little bit. But I can be a little bit of an overachiever and a little bit of a teacher's pet a little bit when it comes to certain educational processes, but I think it'll be in my benefit in the long run. I've always, and I still want to be recognized for something that I've done in IT. And I've tried building apps, and I've tried doing all these different things, and, you know, it all sits really well with me, and it's fine to be able to, it scares me a little bit with the things that I can do with my mind when it comes to the internet, because it's not what I was expecting, and it actually disappoints me, kind of, to be perfectly honest, because I feel like it takes away credibility from those really making a solid effort to like bring themselves up in the IT world. But I get really jealous when I see, you know, like I applied for a government job one time, and I have an extended amount of skills, and then they'll hire like 15 newbie females just because they're female with absolutely no skills. And it's just like, well, why didn't I get hired? You know what I mean? Like those kind of things, you start to question yourself and your abilities when those things happen. And it hurts. It hurts so badly. And I just realized that what I really truly want is never going to change. I just don't know how to get there. And that is the truth of the matter. I don't know how to get what I want right now. And I don't have a team of people that is willing to go above and beyond and get it for me. I'm exhausted, truthfully. I'm exhausted. I've built so much on the internet, and I've gotten credit for none of it. And I am exhausted, and I don't know what to do, and I'm scared that the world's not going to know who I am for anything that I've done, and I've done so much. And I just wish, if I could wish on a shooting star right now, it would be so that the world knows who I truly am, especially when it comes to the IT world. Like, I imagine myself sitting up there with people like Mark and people like Jeff Bezos and those kind of people. Like, I imagine myself sitting up there on stage and being one of those, because that's what I've always wanted for myself. And I don't want some like carbon copy like TV personality trying to like, you know, be like some version of something that's not the real me. I want it to be the real me. I want to be up there. I want this. I want this more than anybody on this planet. I promise you that. And I feel like I'm waiting for some reason. And I feel like it got to the point where I was doing and doing and doing and doing and doing. And then like when I turned 30, it was just like, stop. It was like some source above me said, you know what, stop, you don't have to do anymore. Like, just wait. And I have never been a waiter kind of thing. I've always been a doer. I mean, I've broken up with guys because I just didn't think they did enough. I'm just not a waiter. It scares me to put my fate in someone else's hands. It scares me, especially when I don't even know whose hands it's in right now. But it scares me so much, and I'm just praying that the universe is on my side more than anything. I am praying God is on my side more than anything on the face of this earth. And I'm very much an original. Like, I don't want to be anybody else. I don't want to act like anybody else. I don't even want to become famous like anybody else. I want to do everything so new, so originally, so like I want to pave my own path. I want to do things my way, because I helped other people get up to where they are, and I don't want to do things the same way that was done with them, because I know I can be original. I'm a creator, not a copier. So that being said, that's a big one for me. That is the biggest one for me, and it's really, really important for me that this happens, because I deserve it and I've worked hard for it, and I don't need to conform to anybody else's ideals to get it. And that's the big one that needs to be really understood, because that's never gonna happen. I'm not gonna change for anybody. I think there's power in standing by who I am as a person. I think it is the most powerful gift you could give children, women, even men, is by just standing to who you are and owning who you are and being okay with it and being okay with your flaws. That's the big one. I know I have flaws, a lot of them. And I embrace those flaws because they shape who I am as a person in a way that makes me so understanding of people, more understanding than anyone will ever know. I am fine with, you know, someone watching my videos and thinking like I'm a cold-hearted, like, blip. And I am okay with people thinking negative thoughts about me. Those kind of things don't really bother me. The kind of things that bother me are people who try to suppress what I'm doing out of fear. And that scares me too. Like, don't put fear in my heart because you're afraid of what I'm doing, because what I'm doing should really be none of your business. If it scares you, then walk away. Go somewhere else. Go in your own direction. But the direction I'm in is the direction I'm comfortable with. It's the direction that I've decided for myself, that feels right for me. And yeah, so that's, I guess, what the second thing, like, I really want. Like, the first thing is, you know, like, my best version of myself, physically and mentally. And maybe just physically, because I actually think I'm pretty perfect mentally. I mean, I know I'm like a cold hard mess sometimes, but I know deep down underneath all the bull, like, my soul is so good, and I love who I am so much. And I really just... Yeah. So the third thing that I want would be money, which I think is absolutely okay to ask for. I have always believed that I would be rich by the time I was 30. Well, I'm 30 now and I'm on welfare. So I am begging the universe to chalk up what it owes me now, because I have definitely earned it without a shadow of a doubt. I have definitely earned it. And I always, since I was a kid, I said, I'm gonna be rich by the time I'm 30. And I believe it so much. And it's what I really wanted. It's even just the idea of like if I'm rich, like, I can do whatever I want on this planet. And that was the big one, is I just want to be able to travel and go anywhere and do everything and just have the money to really, really live. Like, I don't want to stay at home on a computer all day, every day. Like, I want to travel the world. I want to experience the planet. Like, I want to experience everything. I want to experience exotic foods and meet exotic people and try exotic cultural things and just live life and laugh and dance and run around on the beach in one of those white dresses. And just, like, I just want that. I don't know, I just really want to live, and I want to do it young. That's the biggest deal for me, is doing it young. And I think that's why I'm so angry about giving up my teenage years and my 20s to work, was because I expected to have money by the time I was 30, to the point where I would be able to do these things. And now I feel like a little panic, because it's like I am, like, I believed it enough. Like, I believed it enough that I should have it now. So I'm just wondering, like, I'm a little scared. I'm honestly a little scared, because, like, I truly believe I should have it. Like, it's like an unshakable force that says, like, this is what I'm owed. Like, this is what I should have right now. And because of what I want to do with it, I just think, yeah. And another one too, one of the biggest ones, is I always kind of saw myself like ending up retiring, or not even really retiring, but just ending up living in like New Zealand. And a lot of that was because of Xena. Part of me, like, Xena was one of those things, like, you know how you have something when you grow up, you're raised around it, and it's almost impacted your life. Even it might just be a TV show or something. It's kind of like Pokemon with some people. Like, some people are still into Pokemon even though it's been around for so long. It's kind of like that. Like, Xena was one of those shows that it was filmed in New Zealand. It was one of those shows I watched so much growing up that it's such a beautiful place that I just kind of saw myself like traveling there and then maybe end up deciding to live there. So that may be a place that I want to move one day. I still don't know, but we'll see, because I still haven't even been there yet. So when I do my traveling, I'll be going there for sure. And yeah, I just want to fly around the world and see and experience everything. And yeah, so I mean, I don't think I'm asking for all that much, maybe a lot, but I mean, it's a lot, but the way I had set it up was it would all sort of line up together. So I'm hoping that that still happens. But honestly, having a kid really threw me for a loop, because, and it's really, really weird because I had never wanted kids my entire life. So I'm not understanding fully why I don't have money, but I have a child.